It is Tuesday, March 31st, and I am ready for math today, and I have a feeling that you are going to love this today, okay? We are ready for this. This is going to be great. You're going to get it done so quickly, and you're going to be a pro at this when we are finished. Today, we are on page 271. You see the garden at the top, and the title of the page says, Find a fraction of a fraction. We have been finding a fraction of a whole number, and we learned yesterday that when we use that word of, we are going to multiply, right? Of means to multiply. I'm just taking a part of something. So today we're talking about if I want a fraction of another fraction. So let's say I have 3/4 a cup in a recipe, but I need to split that recipe in half. So I want half of 3/4. So what am I going to do? I'm still going to multiply those two fractions together. And this is what is very simple. The process here is so easy. So much easier than adding fractions and subtracting fractions. Even easier than what we've been doing the last couple days. You're going to love this, okay? Here's the steps. Ready? Multiply the numerators. Doop. Step 2. Multiply the denominators. Boop. Done. 3. Simplify the answer. I'm serious. That's all there is to it. Okay, so here we go. This is number 1 if we look at under the garden. Okay, so under this whole introduction page, I would encourage you to read that so that you have an idea of what's happening. They show you how the chart gets split up. I am not going to require you to do these boxes here. If you would like to do those, if you're more of a visual learner, remember we talked about knowing what kind of a learner you are and doing it in the way that's necessary for you, okay? Then you may want to break those up and kind of break it down so that you can see it in that way. If it doesn't help you, I want you to do it this way, okay? So let's practice 3/4 times 1/2, or 3/4 of 1/2. So I'm going to multiply the numerators. 3 times 1 is 3. I'm going to multiply the denominators. 4 times 2 is 8. The answer is 3/8. Can it be reduced at all? No. 3 can't be broken down. 8 can't be broken down. Done. Okay, look at number 2. 1/2 times 5, 6. Numerators. 1 times 5. 5. Denominators. 2 times 6. 12. Bingo. Can it be reduced? No. Good. Number 3. 1/2 times 1/2. Oops. So 1/2 of 1/2. And if you know your measurements, you should know the answer ahead of time. Okay? If you know what a half of a half is. 1 times 1 is 1. 2 times 2 is 4. 1/4. 1/4. A half of a half is 1/4. Okay, so do you see how that works? Right, now make sure you don't add. Make sure you stick with multiplying here and your brain stays on the same plane that it needs to stay on. Okay, number 4. You're cruising with me now, I know it. 1/4 times 1/4 equals numerators. 1 times 1. Denominators. 4 times 4. Done. 1/16. Can't be reduced because the top number is a 1. Okay? Let's go ahead and finish off the front of this. 5. 3/8 times 1/2. Numerators. 3 times 1. Denominators. 8 times 2. 3/16. Can it be reduced? Nope. 6. 1/2 times 2/3. Numerators. 1 times 2. Denominators. 2 times 3. 2/6. Can it be reduced? Yes, it can. both numbers can be divided by 2. So when I divide top and bottom by 2, I get 1/3. Number 7, 2/5 times 2/3. Numerators, 2 times 2. Denominators, 5 times 3. Can it be reduced? Nope. 8. 1/6 times 3/4. Numerators, 1 times 3. Denominators, 6 times 4. Reduce it. We're going to divide by 3, right? Divide by 3. If I divide top and bottom by 3, I get 1/8. Got it? I know you do. Okay, look at the back. It tells you our steps at the top. Again, you're going to do 9 through 14. Let's look at 15 through 16 or 15 through 17 and make sure you understand the wording of the word problems there. 15 says, Amanda ran halfway around the track. Since one lap around the track is 1/4 of a mile long, how far did Amanda run? So Amanda ran half of 1/4. So you're going to figure that out and write your answer in the box. 16. Rebecca ran 3/4 of the way around the same track. How far did Rebecca run? So Rebecca ran 3/4 of 1/4. So we're going to figure out what she ran. And then in number 17, how much farther did Rebecca run than Amanda? So in number 17, you are going to subtract those answers, aren't you, to figure out how much farther she ran. Okay, now this is not your answer. I'm just telling you what to do. 18 through 26 is review of what we did the last 2 days, where you've got a multiplying. A lot of those are times the whole number. So remember how we did those the last few days. Whole number times the numerator, and then you slide that denominator over, right? And then reduce your answer. Now, I want to remind you what these properties mean. 27 through 30 is talking about the multiplication properties. The 0 property is when you multiply by a 0 and get 0 as an answer. So look at the 27, 28, 29, and 30. Where do you see a 0 there? I see it on number 27, don't you? So in the blank right beside 27, you're going to write A for 0 property. Okay, because 0 property on that box is letter A. And then next to 7/10, you're going to write 0. 7/10 times 0 equals 0. Okay, now commutative property is when the numbers switch places. They stay the same, they just then take a different place. 3 times 2 equals 2 times 3. They just switched. So where do you see that happening? They leave you a blank to fill something in, but where do you think you're just switching numbers? 28, right, B. So 28, you should write B next to 28. And then in that blank in front of 2/3, what are you going to write? Look at the other side of the equal sign. On the other side of the equal sign, we have 2/3 times 5/8. So on this side of the equal sign, it should say 5/8 times 2/3. We just switched them. So in front of 2/3, you're going to write 5/8. Got it? Now look at the next property. Associative. Numbers are grouped differently. This is the one where you are going to see those parentheses. okay? And they're just going to switch around different numbers. So where do we see parentheses? 29, right? They're just going right in order here for you, nice and easy. So 29, you're going to write C for associative. So look at the groupings. Look at the other side of the equal sign. The other side of the equal sign says 3/4 times 1/5 times 1/3. So all I have to do here is figure out what's missing. 3/4 times, what should go there? 1/5, right? That's the only thing missing is 1/5. Now at the very end, number 30, identity property is when the number stays the same. How do I keep my identity? Well, in multiplication, a number keeps its identity by multiplying it by 1. So here, 7/8 times 1 equals 7/8. And you're going to put D for identity property there. Got it? Okay. Finish up this page. We did the front. You're finishing up the back. Respond below and tell me you got it. Have a great day.